Welcome to step number two in the five-step success formula from Think Like a Customer. I'm Bill Packard, your host, and I'm the founder of bpackard.com. So, what we're going to discuss in this session is what makes your particular business unique within the industry that you are in. You are providing goods or services to consumers, and for some reason, uh, they choose to do business with you. And it's very important to understand first, find out what that reason. In this session, we're going to identify what it is that perhaps is it is that makes you unique. And then, secondly, what are you going to do with that information? What good is it to have certain information if you can't put that to use to benefit your business? So, in the last session, which was step one, we discussed what your business culture was, what the solid foundation that your business is built on, and the importance of identifying that and stating that in a clear, precise way so that your employees and your customers understand the importance, the important things that you do in your business. So now we're going to move on to what makes you unique. So you ask yourself that question. Oftentimes, it's difficult to come up with an answer. When I work with customers in my one-on-one coaching, which is a 3-month coaching program, when we get to this step, they often will tell me things that are really not unique to them. They might say that they provide good service or they have a good product. And the reality is many businesses do those things. They have good products, they have good services. So what we try to do is drill down to what it is that sets. So much the same as your business culture, ask yourself, what are the things that are important to you that when you are actually operating your business that you won't compromise on? It could be safety as an example. Let's use that. And so you put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into educating your employees on the safe way of doing things, providing a lot of education to them because it's very important to you. Customers that really appreciate that are going to tend to want to do business with you as opposed to someone who is not as safety conscious because it's important to them. So the first thing that you want to look at when you're trying to determine what makes you unique is what is something that just when you do your business, it's just the way that you do it. What is it? Now, kind of a tricky thing because most of us, and I include myself, as entrepreneurs, tend to think and tend to believe that everyone does business the way that we do. And in fact, that's not the truth. Uh, I was working with a marketing business, and uh, we went through this exercise to determine what made them unique. And he came up with several different ideas, but upon cross-examination, for lack of a better term, they didn't really, they weren't really things that made them unique. So what I did to him is what I'm going to suggest here. Just ask. So here's what I did. I had him email his customer. Recurring with it for some time, and he just asked them. He said he was doing an exercise with a coach, and he wanted to know what made them want to do business with him. And it was very interesting because uh, there were several different traits that came back that he heard from several different people had the same reasons that why they wanted to do business with him. And one was that he delivered on time, and whatever he was doing for proposals or marketing materials or whatever, uh, most of his customers said that they appreciated the fact that was a unique, especially unique trait, because he believed that most everybody did deliver on time, when in fact the customers made it very clear to him that they didn't, and therefore timely delivery set him apart. And so people were not looking around for someone else if perhaps they weren't shopping as much, or they certainly weren't going to beat up on him on price, knowing that he was going to deliver on time, and that was important to them. And another area that he got repeated feedback on was that he seemed to understand, he and his wife seemed to understand quickly and easily what the customer's challenge was, what they were trying to do, whether they were trying to introduce a new product or raise money for a charity, whatever. There's several different areas that he focused on, and he was able to zero in on what it was they were trying to do and then deliver them a product that did that. And same thing, he didn't see that as being unique because that's the way he did his business, and he thought that everybody did business that way, but in fact they didn't. So the easiest way for you to find out if you're struggling, what it is that makes your business unique, to find out would be to ask your customers. And if you in fact say, oh no, I know what makes my business unique, and you can spell that out very clearly, then just verify that by, again, contacting your customers. Make sure that what you think they feel is important is in fact what they feel is important. I don't think that A1 Sales and Services is unique, but I might have them do my tree, debris, and stump removal. But since they also do domain names, website hosting, and development, I'm not thinking I'm going to have them for any of the last three. And that may not be fair, but this is being unique in an altogether different way. This is really saying, you know, I do it all. I can come in and take your tree down, remove your stump, set you up with a domain name, and develop your website, and then host it for you. That's one-stop shopping right there, if I ever saw it. So don't try to be, the purpose of this slide I put in here is don't try to be everything to everybody. Just do what you do it very well, and focus on the uniqueness of your particular business in your industry. I went over these next couple, 3 points in the last session, and you may see them again because they're very important to me to keep reminding folks so you don't lose sight. Keeping existing customers is cheaper than getting new ones. So while I'm all in favor of marketing and getting new customers and growing your business, I am not in favor of doing that at the expense of your existing customers. Keep your existing customers happy. Ask them for referrals. Get more customers that are like the ones that you have and that appreciate what you do in your business that is unique to your business. I don't know if it's 3 times or 7 times or some other number, and you can put in whatever number you like, but it is a fact that if after people give you money once, they're more likely to do it again. So you struck some sort of a deal with your customer, you delivered a product or service, they paid you, everybody's happy, they are more likely to do business with you again than they are to go out to a complete stranger and start that relationship all over again. So keep that relationship going. You don't have to be selling all the time, but keep yourself in front of those customers to remind them that you're out there and what you do, so that when they do have a need, they're going to come to you first. And offer customers what they want. And when I said earlier, when they do have a need, they're coming to you. I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. What I'm saying is, when they need something or want something, your name wants to be front of mind. Having said that, make sure that you are in the business of giving them what it is they want, not what you think that they need. It's very easy sometimes in business, because you're the professional, you've got the education, you've got the experience, to think, well, my customer needs this, needs that. That can be a very, very difficult sell and not a very rewarding experience if you can't convince the customer that they want it. So everything needs to be presented to the customer in a way that makes them want whatever it is you're selling. So again, these sessions are just brief. I wanted to keep them less than 30 minutes, so they won't take up a lot of your time to watch them. You can maybe take some notes, go to work on the points that you feel are important, and develop them. But now that we've got this, it could be punctuality, it could be safety, it could be whatever that you do. It might even be your location. You know, it could very well be that people do business with you because you're in a handy location and they don't have to cross traffic to get to you, or whatever. It doesn't make any difference. But now that you know that, it's kind of like, so what? So what do you do with that information? Here's where I say, think outrageous. Don't just let the world know. You've done your research and you found out that you have a great warranty for your product. Let's go back to the marketing folk there, and you've determined that it's important to your customers that you deliver your product or service. It's not a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to them. So you're going to go market that, and what you're doing when you're marketing that is you're seeking out people who appreciate that and will not be reluctant to pay whatever it costs for you to do the work. So they appreciate something delivered on time. Instead of just saying, you know, we pride ourselves on timely delivery, you could do something like, if we don't deliver on time, we will give you a $100 gift certificate to LLB. Now, at first, you might say, oh, mackerel, I can't afford that. But let's go back and look at the facts. You do deliver on time. Your customers come back and do business with you time and time again because you deliver on time. Delivering late is not something that is going to just be casual for you. You stay up all night if you have to, work through the weekend, just because that's the way you do business. So offering something to somebody like that idea, while it sounds outrageous, it's the type of thing that will get new customers to come to you and say, really? You believe that? And I use the LL Bean card because just as an example, because I think of LL Bean when they first, started. As long as they have offered that unconditional replacement guarantee, uh, people must have thought they were crazy. I mean, they're in the clothing business; clothes wear out, and yet up until recently, I've heard some rumors that they do things a little different now, but until recently, if you had something that you weren't satisfied with, you took it back and they replaced it. And that was that. There was no discussion, no arguing or anything. So to me, that's pretty outrageous. And yet, look at the size of that business and the volume that they do. So take that uniqueness and use it to your advantage by thinking non-traditional and thinking outrageous and putting it out there so that people are curious and are going to want to say, is he for real? Is he or she? Can they really do that? And then all you have to do is just deliver what you've been doing anyway. So it's not like it's a huge stretch or challenge for you. And that will create a presence for you and a branding. You will be in this case that I just had, you will be the company that delivers on time. And that will be something you'll be very proud of. It'll be something your customers appreciate. And that's what you'll be known by. And it'll be easier for you to build your marketing. Your marketing will be more effective, and it'll be focused because you have built that based on the feedback from your customers. And when people don't do this, I think they tend to spend a lot of money in marketing their business without really knowing what's important to the customer. And that, I mean, you might hit it. You might use national numbers or some other research and do a pretty decent job of it. But man, if you surveyed your customers and you've got feedback from them and you know that this is important to them, your marketing dollars will go a long, long way. You'll see some great return on investment. And continue to look for opportunities. If you notice, if you get one of the things I really love in the businesses that I've had is these little thank you notes from people or thank you cards. A little note written on a piece of paper with a check. That is so powerful. It makes you feel good, but also it's an opportunity. If you get a bunch of those, let's go back to the original the example that I used and said that you promote your business on the fact that you deliver on time. And so you do that. And then you notice you're getting notes from people thanking you for going above and beyond on the job or doing something extra. Or perhaps friendly help, neat appearance. Any of those things. Compile those. So you get a bunch of those, or it might not be a bunch. It might be just a half a dozen, but still, there's a trend there. And what that trend means is that your customers appreciate that faction in your business as well. So there's another opportunity to go back up to the first point here, think outrageous, promote it, and again, build your brand. So now you deliver on time and you over deliver on what you promised, let's say, if we use that as an example. So look for those opportunities that the customers are sharing with you and keep track of them, and then continue to build your marketing on the things that you know make you unique in your particular industry. And while this may sound like it's self-promoting, and to somewhat it is, but don't try to do it yourself. It's just not as effective. We don't seem to, most of us anyway, don't seem to really be able to appreciate the good that we do and our uniqueness and how much we stand out. Because again, we're doing what it's difficult for us to see that as being unique. So, excuse me, it's very, very difficult to come up with good factual data on what makes your business unique if you do it yourself. So the people that I've worked with have found that they actually, in some cases, they looked at the feedback from their customers and didn't even see the trend. I had to point the trend out to them because it's just a different set of eyes. It's not that I'm any smarter or have any extra perception. It's just a different set of eyes looking at it from a different viewpoint, and that's well worth investing in having someone help you. Or you can do friends. You can do you can do friends. You can do employees, whatever. But it's important that you don't try to do it yourself because you probably are not going to have as effective a result as if you invest a little bit of money to get someone to help you. Your return on investment is going to be fantastic. At least it has been for everybody that I've worked with. So that pretty much wraps it up as far as your uniqueness. In your industry from other people who provide the same. And we have that information. The next step is to use that in your marketing and be as outrageous as you can. You've got to attract attention. You've got to make people turn their head and look and see that that's what I want. I want that person. I want that company. I want that product. So that's step 2 in the Think Like a Customer 5-step success formula. And in the next session, we're going to get into 80-20. And some of you may have heard of 80-20. If you have, it'll be a great review. Again, these are just short sessions, 30 minutes maximum, so it's not going to take you a long time to go through it. If you haven't heard of 80-20, I think you're going to find the next session very, very interesting when I show you how you can take that 80-20 and use it to your advantage in your business and tie it in with your uniqueness as well as your business culture. So 80-20 is based on the Pareto principle, and briefly we'll go over that, but we're going to go into a good deal of detail of what the 80-20 principle is, why it's important to you, and what you can do with that information. Then how do you find, and the practical part of the next session will be, how do you find that 20% in your business and how do you identify them? And this will make, if you know 80-20, then a little bit about what we're going to talk about in the next session. If you don't know 80-20, don't worry about it. I'll explain it very clearly, and then we will go to work and determine how you can find your 20% and then what you do with them. So thanks again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next session when we discuss 80-20 and why it's important for your business.